Hello, all. Happy Monday, and welcome to the fourth week of online learning. I'm going to go over the new project, which will take us through the next 3 weeks of online learning with check ins along the way. And this project is designed to be what is exhibited at our online virtual art show this year, since we aren't going to have a traditional art show like we've done in the past. We've had a really awesome opportunity to have a website created for us that will showcase the work from this assignment. It's optional if you are not required to enter the assignment into the digital art show, but you are required to do the assignment. This art show is also gonna give us an opportunity to have some space in an online atmosphere for seniors to display their senior work and the contents of their portfolio. We'll talk more about that later. If you don't have photos of things that you would like to put on your senior page, we'll try and figure out a way for me to get in and get the last little bit of pictures. It's not going to be as extensive as what we've done in the past, like, not 12 works of art, but we want everybody who wants to be represented to be represented. All right, let's talk about a couple of vocabulary words before we get started with the nitty gritty of the project. So the first thing is content, and these vocabulary words can be found on the lesson description that's also in this folder. So content is just the subject matter of the work of art, the painting, the sculpture, the drawing, whatever it is. Second one, emotionalism. It's a theory of art that places emphasis on the artist's ability or desire to communicate a message, a feeling, a mood, communicate expressive qualities. All right. So according to this theory, the most important thing about a work of artwork is its ability to communicate moods, feelings, ideas. All right, so that's the sole purpose of the artwork, is a form of communication. All right, an artwork's expressive qualities can be its color, its content, its materials that it's made out of. It's the idea that all of these elements express something. So, for example, a lot of people have heard of Picasso's Blue Period. So, part of his Blue Period was he painted basically everything in a million shades of blue. And it was a particularly dark period of his life as well. And so the connection is made that blue is a very sad color, all right? And so that color portrays this sadness that he was feeling and trying to communicate in his work as well. The subject matter of those paintings from his Blue Period are also very a man sitting in the corner against a wall, very, very sad, very somber. So all of those things kind of contribute to this emotionalism and this portraying of a feeling or a mood, which fits well when you talk about a pandemic, this very emotional period in our lives where there's a lot of change happening. Fear is an emotion that people feel, I think, quite frequently right now, among others. I know there have been days where I've been incredibly happy and optimistic, and so these don't all have to be negative emotions, moods, feelings. Okay, by all means, there are positives to this as well that you could choose to focus on. All right, so an expressive quality, think about those as like the elements of art: line, shape, space, color, all of those that you could use to create a feeling. All right. Medium is just the materials that the artist chooses to use. All right, so you've got a lot of options here. In terms of this project, you can use traditional materials. Okay, let's be honest. We're used to using a singular material, which is clay. You don't have access to that for this, necessarily. You could choose to do my cold porcelain recipe, which will give you a very soft, smooth clay to work with. If you don't want to do that, you can do a two-dimensional material: drawing, painting, color pencils, markers, whatever you have access to. If that's not an option either, you can use some more non-traditional mediums: cardboard, tinfoil. I'm going to be posting a paper towel, toilet paper roll options, different ways to work with those. whatever you have access to, okay? We're limited because of being in quarantine. You should absolutely not be going anywhere to get supplies, okay? Part of the challenge of this project is that in limiting your materials, it forces you to be more creative. Those limitations, if you remember our video from 2 weeks ago, those limitations automatically kind of inspire a bit of creativity by forcing you to work within the confines of this challenge, okay? Which is basically what's in your house. And what do you have enough of to make an entire project from? Like one paper towel roll is probably not going to be enough. So you're going to have to kind of seek out what you have enough to create from, okay? And the final vocabulary word that we're going to really focus on for this project is symbol or symbolism. And it's the idea that a form, an image, or a subject can represent the meaning other than outside of just what that symbol means, okay? Or outside of what it is traditionally associated with. So when you think about symbols, think about those really iconic images that we're seeing in daily life and what also they represent. So if I think of like, let's see, the number 19 is symbolic, okay? In that it now symbolizes to us a relationship to COVID-19, which 2 months ago we really weren't going to associate 19 with a pandemic, okay? It's just a number. I think of like a mask or a surgical mask from up until now had always just symbolized like a nurse or a doctor, okay? It wasn't very emotionally charged of a symbol or an icon. Now it means so much more. It means social distancing. It means everyone's wearing them, all right? So symbols are just images or icons or a form or a subject, all right, that now have so many more meanings than they had, prior to this pandemic, okay? Or that they can be connected to lots of different things, all right? So that's some vocabulary. What you are going to do specifically, so you're going to watch the video, which is going to give you a good jumping off point, all right? And then you're going to create a sketch or a series of sketches for possible ideas, all right? Remember, the first idea is usually not the best idea. So I do really quick little thumbnail sketches, like a couple inches wide, scribble some ideas until you find one you're really interested in. Okay, on this lesson explanation that I've posted, there's a big list of some prompts, some ideas to get you started thinking about your perspective on this pandemic or avenues you could take to create your final work of art, all right, if you're completely stuck. So basically it's just you're reflecting. So your take on the pandemic or social distancing, okay? One of the examples, it was create a COVID-19 monster or character and the effects it's having on your community, country, and or the world. Example, similar to Godzilla just destroying the cities, okay? So there's lots of different jumping off points. You by no means have to pick one of these. I don't want 50 COVID monsters, okay? And if you choose to do any of the ones on here, push it and make it your own. Remember, the best projects are the ones that personally relate to you. That has been the case in ceramics, and that is the case now, okay? It's your perspective that we're curious to see here, and the people that attend the Digital Art Show are curious to see your perspective, not the perspective of something you ripped off Pinterest. Trust me, I know, okay? So make it your own, make it original to you. All right, so you're gonna come up with those thumbnails. You pick the one that you're really fond of, or a couple if you want to submit a couple, and you submit them to Schoology. Okay, so then I have your sketches. There's also a quiz there. The quiz is you're just gonna further. It's not a quiz really. This is how we have to put it in Schoology. You're going to further explain your idea, and then I'm going to offer feedback. Same way I do at school. All right, that discussion is what gets us the best ideas. Okay, so then I'm getting a sketch from you, and I'm getting an explanation in the form of a quiz from you. All right, once you get all that feedback back from me, all right, week 2, you're going to start building. All right, and you're going to put the pen to the paper, so to speak. pen to the napkin, pen to whatever you have at home. Start making your clay if that's the option you want to choose. Start testing how to possibly build with tinfoil or paper towels or whatever. Start trying some things out, and that second week you'll submit an in progress photo. All right. And then you'll have the whole third week to finish working on the final project. Okay. I know that I'm asking you to use non-traditional materials. That I want to reiterate though that these should not be a quick throwaway project. Okay. And there should be a message communicated through whatever imagery you create. All right. Take a look at the example photos that are at the bottom of this document. Okay. It's kind of a starting off point. Just because you're using pizza boxes doesn't mean that there really can't be a powerful message there, okay? All right, so for the new project, you're going to watch a video on YouTube that's linked here in this folder. The video is Art Can't Save the World, or Can It? So what your challenge is going to be to do is watch a video, and then you're going to create a work of art that responds to this pandemic or to social distancing from your perspective, all right, which is what makes it unique and different. This project, as I mentioned, is going to be 3 weeks. So the first week's going to be a planning week where you're going to watch this video. You're going to come up with a sketch and complete a quiz that it's just you explaining your idea to me so that I can provide feedback. And then next week, you'll work through starting to construct the project. It could be 2D or 3D, so however that looks. And then the third week will also be a building week with a check-in photo in between the second and the third week. All right, so the project itself will be due May 8th, Friday, May 8th. I wanted to make sure I was correct. All right, so let's talk about a couple vocabulary words first that'll get you set up for kind of in addition to you choosing whatever material you want to use, and that should definitely be included in your description in the quiz when you submit it, explicitly what you want to use and how you plan to use it, and do you have enough, and all those kind of things, so that I can offer some feedback, like what if you also use this, or did you know of this technique that you can look up, okay? Use me as a resource to get the best ideas kind of gathered together into your project, all right? And then the other thing I wanted to mention is that over this week, myself and Miss Marioni and Miss Kenya are all creating and have created and will be posting different resource videos for you to use. I posted in this folder today how to make that cold porcelain that I'm talking about. I'm also going to be posting a paper towel, toilet paper roll video that just shows you some of the different ways you can manipulate just cardboard, basically. All right. I've got some weaving examples. I've got so just things that might spark some ideas for you, okay? They're not going to apply to everybody. They're just there for food for your brain, all right? So there is no size requirement, and because everybody's going to be using completely different materials, okay? I'm looking more for complexity in the idea as it relates to your response to the pandemic or to social distancing, and also an interesting use of materials. If you're using an interesting material, all right, that counts too. So how creatively you manipulate a material will count well in your favor. If you're using something traditional because you have access to that, and if you have colored pencils at home, that's great. You're not going to lose any points or credit because you used a traditional material. There's just a bit of a challenge associated with using something new, and I want to give credit where credit is due. Okay? I am available during my office hours on Wednesday. All right, I will extend the office hours. Go to the office hours page, click the link. It gives the times there. I'm going to extend them at least a half an hour, just in case. You can just pop on and ask whatever questions you need to. We can come up with ideas if you're stuck and kind of talk you through it. Answer any questions you have, okay? If you think of something, a material that you have access to, whether it's like kind of random or you want some ideas, send me a message so I can kind of start looking and start figuring out what kind of videos you guys would like to see in terms of what you have access to. If you're like, I have nothing and I'm going to need to paint with basically coffee, that's fine. I have resources. I can create resources. Basically, I probably have most of the same things in my house. We can troubleshoot stuff. Okay? I think that is all. I am over the moon excited about this digital art show. I am loving everything you guys have submitted for the remaking a famous work of art. So if that is the degree of work I'm going to get from online learning from you guys, I'm all in. So keep the quality coming. It's been amazing. Again, I miss you all dearly, and I will hopefully talk to you soon. All right, office hours Wednesday, please. All right, take care. Be safe. Bye.